Well, when you dissect the major social and political reforms that have occurred in this country, you often find at their heart religious conviction and expression. The abolition of slavery, the civil rights movement, two prime examples of the power of religious freedom. Just yesterday, the nation celebrated the birth of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose preaching stirred the conscience of a nation. And today, we're honored to have the niece of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with us here today. Joining us now is Dr. Alveda King, pastoral associate with Priests for Life and director of civil rights for the unborn. Alveda, welcome to Washington Watch.
Hello, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm in an airport. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Alveda. So good to have you with us today. I thank you for taking time. I know you're on your way to Washington to be a part of a number of the pro-life events today. Let me ask you, we've discussed this briefly, but the connection between the civil rights movement and religious freedom.
Tony, when we consider religious freedom in the 20th century, of course, I actually marched for open housing, went to jail with many of the leaders. A few of us are still here today. My uncle led that movement, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Uncle M.L., and my daddy, Reverend A.G. King. Now, we were not at that time fighting for religious freedom. For most of the movement, we still had prayer in schools, although it was taken out in 1963. Abortion did not become legal until 1973. So we had a climate where we could pray in the public square and appeal to God and to preach in the pulpits about the Bible and sin. We were dealing with skin color racism, which is a problem based upon the misconception. I'm so sorry about that. Please, sorry about that.
You go right ahead.
But dealing with the skin color issues, thinking we're separate races, whereas the Act 1726 says we're created of one blood. But we were not fighting over the Bible and preaching the gospel so much at that time. I remember when Family Research Council was one of the first louder voices saying, something's wrong in America. They're taking away the 501c3s. They're trying to keep the preachers from preaching the truth of the gospel inside the four walls and out. So I'm so glad that that alarm was continually sounded, and that many of us, Priests for Life including we have fought for religious freedom on the matter of preaching the truth about abortion. And we had that lawsuit where we prevailed along with the Little Sisters of the Poor and others. So there is a correlation between civil rights and religious rights and religious freedom. We're not trying to keep others from practicing their beliefs, but we want to be able to practice ours.
Well, you have been just such an effective advocate for the unborn. That comes out of your conviction, both your personal experience, but also your religious conviction. And you should not be deprived of that conviction when you walk into the public square.
We should not be. And speaking of that, because on all of your breaks, you're making the appeal to those on Facebook to be involved and be included. Many of you know there's a new movie coming out, Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade. I'm one of the executive producers. Facebook has pulled down our ads, the paid ads and any mention in the non-paid ads. And they do not want the message of the injustice of abortion broadcast, and they are trying to block that. That's another violation of religious freedom. It's very discriminatory. So when we are denied the opportunity and the right to proclaim the gospel freely in this nation that was founded upon in our Constitution, we have that right. It's a terrible injustice. My uncle did say injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, and I know we can all agree. So it's wrong to take the life of a baby in the womb. It's wrong to silence the voices of people who want to proclaim our faith. And all of those are civil rights injustices, but they're an injustice against God's will. And so I'm very grateful that this type of information conversation is available, but I'm asking everyone to please support. There'll be other movies coming out that are telling the truth about the social injustice of silencing the voices of faith in this nation. And so we must continue to cry out.
Well, Dr. Alveda King, thank you so much for taking a few moments to join us. We look forward to seeing you this week here in Washington, D.C. as we march for the unborn and for the right to life. And I just want to say thank you for all that you have done to stand up and be a voice to all of the nation. And you bring such credibility because of who you are and the family that you come from. And we're grateful for you, Dr. Alveda King.
Thank you for this opportunity. God bless everyone.
All right. Dr. Alveda King.